Welcome to Rita's Kitchen. Today we'll be making chicken cannelloni topped with a white wine Parmesan cream sauce. But first thing first in Rita's Kitchen, what must we do? Wash our hands. First thing you want to do, put a little soap in your hands, wet them up, lather them, go up your arm a bit, back down your hands, and between your fingers, up underneath your nail beds, because what you're trying to do is capture all germs. Then if that don't work for you, if it seems too long, do the happy birthday song, or do 10, 15, or even 20 seconds to do. Clean hands are safe. Okay, Rita's back. Her hands is clean. Let's get started with making this dish. First thing we're going to need is the chicken. I decided to go with a boneless chicken breast. And what I've marinated it in is a little balsamic vinaigrette, which is really, really good and kind of sour, but all the other seasonings is going to allow it to balance out with taste. I actually seasoned it with a little bit of seasoning salt, accent, and garlic. Just a little light on it. And I let it marinate for 4 to 6 hours. So next we're going to need is the actual pasta. Now, cannelloni is the pasta we're going with. But guess what? The store didn't even have cannelloni. So this is where culinary and cooking and chefing takes place. So you have to become creative and improvise. So what you want to do, this is what I did. Now you can do what you want to do. You can go to 50 million stores, but I became creative for my viewers, and I think you guys will like it. I'm actually going with a manicotti shell. A manicotti shell is nothing but a round shell that allows you to stuff the filling in, versus the cannelloni shell. The cannelloni shell is nothing but a round pasta shell that you actually could stuff the filling in. So what did I do? I went with a manicotti, boiled them off for a little bit, got them soft, and I took and I cut them down the middle. And why? Because cannelloni, you can actually find flat pasta and roll them the way that you want to. But you can do the same with manicotti. The difference is cannelloni is a smooth shell. Manicotti have ridges in it. But guess what? There you go. There you go. You can make this as flat as you want it, as wide as you want it, whatever you want to do with it. You can even take and make raviolis. It's up to you. So now, I'm going to tell you guys what else go in this dish. We're going to sear our chicken off, nice and brown, get it done. Then we're going to mix it up with a little bit of sour cream, about a half a cup. We're going to take about a half a cup of ricotta or more, mix it up. We're going to mix some marjoram, a little bit of minced garlic, and also some Italian oregano. And I have a little thyme in this bowl. And that's actually going to go in the mix with me mixing it all together. Then we're going to take and stuff these pasta shells and put them back together as a cannelloni shell. We're going to lay them in a pan, let them bake off for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to actually make our sauce with our white wine, our heavy cream, and cheeses and different things. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and get over here to this cooking station and sear this chicken off. Be back with you guys in a sec. Thank you. Okay, chicken is on cooking. It's been on for every bit of 6 minutes searing on the stove. So I'm going to let it go for another 6 to 7 minutes and it'll be done. What I did was first allow my skillet to get hot. Put maybe a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. Laid my chicken in and let it cook. And you don't have to add any type of liquids as far as waters or anything, because again, you know, your meats, they create their own secretions, their own liquids. So Let it do what it do, and we'll be done cooking this chicken in another 6 to 7 minutes. And I'm going to let it stand, which is cool off, and then I'll cut it up in about 10-15 minutes after it being done. Be back in a sec. Okay, so now we're going to start building our white wine Parmesan cream sauce. I melted 3 tablespoons of butter down, added a little minced garlic, bringing it to a nice simmer. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and add my heavy whipping cream. And we're going to let that come to a nice simmer. And then we're going to add us some grated Parmesan cheese. A little white wine, and it's not cooking white wine. I'm actually drinking some wine called white wine, or I have a little Moscato, whichever one I feel like putting in my dish. That is what will be going in there. But for the ones who don't want to do that, they do sell white cooking wine at the store if you don't trust the wine you drink. And what I'm going to do is also add some grated Parmesan cheese and spark it up with just a little bit of seasoning, and that's going to just be a little chicken flavor, just for it to actually come through the palate of the nice cream, because I like to taste a little seasoning through mine. So it's pretty much an Alfredo sauce with a nice little kick of wine in it. So be back in a sec. Let it do what it do. Okay, so now my heavy cream has come to a great boil. A nice little simmer. Really boiling. We're going to go ahead and add that white wine. And that was about maybe 3-4 ounces. And I added a little bit of the chicken seasoning, just for that seasoning to come through, like I told you guys. Then we're going to go ahead and do that heavy cream. I mean the powder, the grated Parmesan. I'm going to just finish that off. I'm going to whisk that into it, allow it to become smooth, and then we're going to actually add some nice chunks, some pieces of grated Parmesan cheese to it, the fresh. So as you see, the consistency is actually getting thicker, and the more heavy cream you use and product, the better off you'll know your actual sauce will not break, because the smaller amount you use, more than likely it will break. But the more you use, pretty much it won't. But sometimes you just gotta be cautious on the portions, because shoot, that stuff expensive, real expensive. $5 a pint, or a half of a carton. Just finding it on sale is a beautiful thing. Parmesan. Now let's go ahead and smooth out. Once that's smoothed out, and let it simmer for maybe 3 to 5 more minutes, you can turn it off. And the longer it sits, it's going to become thicker. It don't need to be real thick, just enough to wet those pasta shells up and the ingredients that's inside. Okay, now that my chicken is done, I've allowed it to cool. I've actually took the time out and diced some up to show you guys how big it should be going into your pasta shell. So this is the size I actually prefer. Now, I just want to take the time and show you guys how you should dice it up, so you want to go pretty slim to the cut. Maybe a 1/2 inch. Then you want to turn it to you. So that way you can go ahead and dice it. And again, you want it pretty small so you can get nice bite-sized and even smaller pieces inside your pasta shell. And that's what you're looking for. So that, we have one more. And I like to try to keep everything uniform if I could. Turn it around, nice it up. And be careful, make sure you tuck those fingers, because if anything happens, you will just scrape your knuckle. Okay, we're gonna set that knife to the side, grab this bowl. We're gonna add this chicken to the bowl. Because the bowl is not a big size, I kind of underestimated the amount of chicken I will be getting. I'm gonna do this in layers. So I'm gonna put a little sour cream, a little ricotta. Then I'm gonna shake 1/2 of my seasoning in there. Then I'm gonna put my chicken on top, the rest of the chicken. If you have any you think that should go in there, just add it. And everybody don't have a fold out cutting board, so if you can't savor it, then don't. But I get all mine. Now, I'm gonna set this to the side. I'm gonna put the rest of that sour cream in there, and that's about anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces of sour cream. Another big scoop of ricotta, and that's anywhere from 4 to 8 ounces, to be honest. Cover that up. And now in this bowl, again, I have a little dried oregano, some garlic powder, and some marjoram. And marjoram is just a bunch of different herbs and a little thyme, just to give it a nice little kick. And if you want to, if you're a cheese lover, you can add all the cheese in the world. I have a little bit of that big grated Parmesan. I'm going to go over and grab it and add it to it because we like cheese in my home. So, that's that. Then you just want to actually fold the chicken into the ricotta. And if you can't work with a small size bowl, then feel free to work with a bigger bowl in your home. And this is pretty much what you're looking for when you come into the mix. So now we're going to use a throwaway aluminum pan. You want to take a little Pam or spray to spray it down for your actual pasta will not stick to your pan. Okay, now we're going to start stuffing. You can use the actual spatula you use to actually fold the cheeses and sour cream in, or you can use a big spoon or an actual scooper. It's up to you. So that's what you're looking for. Then you're going to fold it over. I'm going to do these fairly flat. not bulky. And then you just continue to build from there. And we're going to see exactly how many we get out of this mix. And I was going to actually use this scooper, but this is pretty easy, to be honest. So I like all kinds of ways of doing things. And what that spray on this pan allowed it to do is, so once it baked, because we're going to bake this off for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so. And once we take it out, we're going to top it with that white wine Parmesan cream sauce. And when we go to actually take it out of the pan, it's not going to stick. And if we have any leftover toppings, if we run out of shells, all we're going to do is simply add it to the top of it, bring it to a little crisp, and then add the actual sauce. And hey, it's just a heartier, good meal, to be honest. So that's that. So I'm going to show you guys the look you're going for. That's what you're going for. And now we definitely have some mix left over. So we're going to take and spread it over the shells, like pretty much like a lasagna. But the only difference is we're not going to put another shell over the top. What's going over the top of these is that great sauce. And I know that's not much to people, but that's a nice little amount. Take that spatula and clean that bowl. And that's what the toppings look like. And we're gonna bake this at most 25 minutes, but I'm shooting for 20 because I'm working with an electric stove. Be back in a sec. Chicken cannelloni. Voila.